I have been a fan of Google's Pixel smartphones since the very beginning. My first foray into the world of Pixel phones was the Pixel 2 XL. I really wanted that panda white and black colored one, but I ended up getting one that was in all black. In fact, I still have it, and I have gotten a lot of Pixels since then, most of them. In fact, I have owned not so many of the A series, but still nonetheless, I've owned a lot of Pixel phones. And over that time, there have been a lot of changes, not just in the hardware, but in the software features and things about Pixel phones that I really, really liked that aren't there anymore. And in this video, I'm going to go over my top 5 Pixel features that I miss the most. As our smartphones have gotten smarter and smarter, there's been more and more emphasis placed on these digital assistants, and most modern phones, or at least a lot of modern Android devices, have started using the power button to trigger these assistants. First it was Google Assistant, and now it is mostly going to be Gemini. If you long press your power button, rather than actually getting your power menu, you're going to get Google Gemini or Google Assistant popping up. But this does create one small problem. Your power button no longer brings up your power menu. So you have to do other things. Maybe it's like a volume key. I did a screenshot, a volume key and the power button to get into the power menu. Or maybe you're going to pull down your notification shade, or maybe you're going to hold whatever. There's a lot of different ways around this, but it's a little bit odd that we're now using the power button to trigger the assistant when Google already came up with a better solution all the way back with the Pixel 2. I powered up my Pixel 2 XL from the old tech closet. We've got it plugged in because, of course, it has 2% battery. It was absolutely flat dead. Let me show you this cool feature that we used to have. If I want to trigger my assistant, you know what I can do? I can just squeeze my phone, and there's this nice little haptic buzz that happens whenever you do this that I wish I could properly describe to you, but it feels quite nice, and it feels very, very natural, and I got really used to just squeezing my phone to trigger Google Assistant, and that leaves your power button free to be a power button. Why, oh why, Google, did you abandon this feature? You had the right answer already. You had the solution to this problem, and for some reason, you decided to take it away. Item number 2 can also be demonstrated with the Pixel 2 XL. I have never been a fan of in-display fingerprint scanners. I am a user of folding phones, and one of my favorite things about them is that they always put the fingerprint scanner in the power button. There is tactility there. I can feel for where that is, and it's really easy to find because of that, right? I can just feel for it, boom, there it is, and I'm into my phone. Now, I must admit that in-display fingerprint scanners have gotten a lot better, okay? They're much more accurate and they're much faster than they used to be, but occasionally I'm going to just miss the spot by a little bit. You can see there, I missed it a couple of times, and it's because there's nothing there to tell me where the scanner is. You can get that sufficient muscle memory that it's going to get better, but it's just something that has always bugged me, especially considering that up until the Pixel 6, we had a solution that I really liked, putting that fingerprint scanner on the back of the device. Why does this make sense? Because when you're holding the phone, where does your index finger want to go? Really darn close to that fingerprint scanner. So it was really easy just to reach over there and unlock your phone. Obviously, I can just show you. There it is. Boom. I'm into the device. We're looking at Mr. Cameron Ward, number 1 for the Tennessee Titans. Anyways, I always just thought this was such a nice solution because ergonomically, it just makes sense to me. It's such a comfortable place to put that fingerprint scanner. Now, there are problems with it, right? If your phone is sitting down on a table or something like that, you can't access the fingerprint scanner. But you know what most modern Android smartphones have? They almost all have Face Unlock, which works really, really well. And even at kind of odd angles like this, all I got to do is get about right there, and it went ahead and unlocked. So it wouldn't be that big of a deal to just have us, be able to maybe double tap it and then kind of lean over the phone, and it's going to unlock just like I did there. So I think that there are solutions to that. I don't like in-display fingerprint scanners, and I absolutely do miss having the scanner on the back of the phone. For number 3, we're talking about build materials. I am not a fan, even though they look really, really good, of these all glass devices. Glass on the back, glass on the front, maybe some aluminum metal of some kind around that edge rail, obviously, but it's glass and glass and glass. Again, it looks great, but it's slippery, and if you drop it, it's going to break. Pixels did not used to be like this. In fact, this is a Pixel 5 that my wife daily drove for quite a while, and man, did it take a beating, and I don't think she ever had a case on this thing. And when you get a close look at this phone, you're going to understand why having a non-glass material was really, really great for these phones, because this thing would be shattered and destroyed if not for being made out of some sort of aluminum. You guys want to see why I prefer a non-glass back? Well, look at this. Okay, so down here in this corner, there is a gash in this thing, and I don't know what she did to cause this. I would love to know if she even knows what she did to cause this. You know what's crazy, though? There's not just one crazy gash like that on the back. There are actually 2. I am confident that if this phone had been made of glass, it wouldn't have survived whatever it was she was doing to this phone. There's just no way. And whatever this finish is that is on it, you didn't really feel like you needed a case because it was already, pretty grippy. It kind of felt like there was a case already on it. I know that these all glass phones look great, but this just makes more sense to me. I mentioned at the top of this video that my first Pixel phone was that Pixel 2 XL, but relatively recently, I started kind of building out my Pixel phone collection, and I wanted to start in the most obvious place, with the original Pixel. So I went on eBay and I ordered this phone right here, the Pixel XL, and man, I gotta tell you, this is number 4 on the list. Look at this color. Why are phones so boring now when it comes to their colors? Why are they always these muted, subtle colors, like my Z Fold 6 that's supposed to be pink, but it doesn't even look like pink most of the time. It looks kind of just like a off-white, especially when it's on film. Every time I film that thing, it doesn't look like pink at all. Give us bold, vibrant colors, bold, vibrant designs. Look at this. When this thing came out, nothing really looked anything like this in terms of just this weird two-tone thing that they had going on. It drives me crazy that phones, that are so expensive and they do look so classy and nice, they just have absolutely no personality. Google, bring back bold, vibrant colors. And look, I do want to acknowledge a little bit that they kind of have to some degree, but the problem is you have to buy the lower end phone to get those vibrant colors. My wife's Pixel 9 is super duper vibrant, but if you go to the XL versions or the Pro versions, you lose the saturation. And all you get is porcelain, desaturated pink, gray, and black. Google, why are you doing this? Give us the bold colors. I miss it. If I asked the average techie person to start listing things that they think are synonymous with Pixel smartphones, I think pretty much everybody is going to get around to photography fairly early on. Even going back to the original Pixel, that was a big focus for this device. And that is why, way back with the original Pixel, Google unveiled a pretty cool feature. All Pixel users would have unlimited backup space, cloud storage for their photos in Google Photos. And this was actually at full quality. This was a really, really cool feature. Now with the Pixel 2, they did drop that a little bit. You would still have unlimited storage for your photos if they were uploaded from your Pixel 2, but you were going to be uploading them at a sort of compressed quality. Not a big deal, not a huge loss for most of us, but it definitely did lower that quality from the original. And that carried on, I think, to the Pixel 6. But now that feature is completely gone. You don't get any additional sort of perks when it comes to Google Photos. You are like any other phone-using citizen, and that definitely bums me out. The unlimited backup for Google Photos was such a cool feature, and now people like myself, guess what I've had to do? I'm paying Google for a little bit of extra storage because I need it. I've got too many photos backed up, so now they get a couple of dollars a month for it. So guys, those are my top 5 features that I do miss from older Pixel devices. Maybe one bonus one that I could quickly throw in is moving away from the passport style design for the Pixel Fold in exchange for something that just matches what everybody else is already doing. I miss this phone a lot because of that design, and I know some of you out there feel the same way. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about the 5 things that I came up with. Drop your own answers down there as well. I'm sure we'll have fun reminiscing about the way things used to be, looking back through those rose-tinted glasses. Subscribe for more content just like this, and if you want to help support the channel in a more direct way, consider clicking that join button down below. By doing so, you'll help make me a little bit less reliant on ad revenue, and you will occasionally get early access to some content like videos like this. Guys, I'll see you on the next one, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.